It is September 8th of 2022, the day before my birthday again. If you weren't watching this live, you won't know what I mean by that, but that's okay, because this is Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And good morning, everyone, and welcome to a hazardous and fraught with danger Guy's Daily Drive. I don't know what is going on with people today, but I have seen at least 3 acts of vehicular stupidity, not counting this one, but 3 acts of people just doing insanely stupid things behind the wheel of their cars, and it's intentional. It's like, I'm going to do this and I don't really care how it affects other people, and I just don't get it. Why would you be like that? Why would you do those things? To save yourself 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds at most. And if it was just holding me up, I could be like, okay, fine. You know, I have to wait a little while longer because you're an impatient jerk. But when you do it in heavy traffic and potentially nearly cause an accident, and to be oblivious to the fact that you could have caused an accident, it's beyond me. I just don't understand that mindset, why people act that way. But I'm going to get off that topic, and here's another person who's doing it here too. I swear, the world is filled with idiots. Wow. All right, so today is September 8th. Yesterday was my son Guy's birthday. And for his birthday, I got him a headlight, 2 headlights, or headlight covers, I guess, because the one he had was cracked. So I knew it wasn't something that he was going to deal with right away. So I was kind of like, okay, well then let's just do this for him. And so I looked up his car, and I found a couple of replacement, it's not even really the headlights, it's just the plastic piece that the headlight fits in, and got him those, and they came on time, and now he's put them in, and he's got working, non-broken, smashed up headlights again on a car that cost him $1,500. That it still blows my mind that he got that car so cheap. It was like anywhere else, especially these days, you would have paid $5,000 to $7,000 for that car. 2012 Ford Focus. He got it. He got it for $1,500, I think. What a bargain. So good for him. That's what I say. Good for Guy. And good for me. Good for Guy me. Because not only do I get good dad karma points, but tomorrow is my birthday. I will be 62 years old. And I don't hide the fact I don't hide how old I am. What's the point? You say, oh, I'm really 59. It's like, shut up. Just shut up. You're whatever the age is that you are. And if you're that hung up on it, then just don't tell people how old you are. Don't celebrate your birthday. Don't celebrate your birthday and then not tell people your real age. Okay? Don't do that. That's dumb. If you wanna conceal how old you are, don't tell people when your birthday is coming up. Yeah, that's what I would do. But that's me. Don't lie about your age. So I'm going to be 62. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I've taken the day off from work. So we're going to have to come up with something fun to do. Monday, oh my God, Monday, we went up to Frederick, and we went to the Monocacy battlefield, which was a battle that was kind of like the South's last incursion into the North, and it was kind of their last shot to. It was already pretty much over at that point, but they were still fighting on. Lee was all bunkered down in Petersburg, with the capital of the Confederacy under siege by General Grant. And so he had a General Jubal Early. Was kind of impressive what they did. They snuck out and they snuck around, and they took this long, very long, especially considering, no planes, no cars, just horses, and you can't have that many horses to move a force that big. So they snuck all the way around and got to Frederick, Maryland. And they had a couple different plans. None of them worked out exactly the way they had expected. But the general goal was there was a small force in Monocacy that had to be taken out, and then the path to Washington, D.C. was wide open. And there were a couple of strategic reasons why they were doing this. Number one, if they could take the capital of the United States, that's like huge. But it wasn't even really so much to do that as it was to force Grant to remove his forces from the Richmond, Petersburg area and allow General Lee a chance to break out his armies to do other stuff, I guess. The problem was the force at Monocacy, the Union forces at Monocacy, held. Not forever. They didn't have to. They held for 24 hours with a much smaller force than what the Confederates had. And eventually they had to they had to break off, and they headed to Baltimore, maybe hoping that they would, chase into Baltimore instead of Washington. But once the force was removed, the obstacle was removed from Monocacy, General Early's forces went down to Washington. But by this time, it was a much smaller force than had originally been there, and they were really, really extremely tired. And they won in Monocacy. They forced the Union to retreat, but that 24 hours allowed for Grant to move not all of his forces, but some of his forces toward Washington, D.C., the capital, and the forces that were already set in place were much able, that's not even the right way to say it, it was easier for them to to hold off Early's forces, to prevent them from entering the capital. I think they got within shelling distance, but there was no real damage. And so it failed, and Early ended up having to retreat. I don't know if the forces that Grant had sent north were close by, or they just decided that it wasn't going to work, and so, why get all your troops slaughtered if it's not going to work? So they retreated, and that was pretty much the last time that the Confederacy was a major factor in the Civil War.
Okay.
So the people that maintain it, they call it the biggest battle that very few people have ever heard of, and I was one of them. I had no idea. I mean, everybody knows about Gettysburg, which was the year before, and also a major incursion into the North from the South. It didn't work. But I had never heard of the Battle of Monocacy. So it was a good stop. And Tracy, who's a huge Civil War buff, and I go and I enjoy it, but it's not really my thing. I enjoyed that as well. And that was pretty much what we did all day. But the weird thing, when we got up there, we left later than I really wanted to. And we decided we were just going to have breakfast up there in Frederick. There's a Cracker Barrel right there. Except the Cracker Barrel had like a half-hour wait. And in retrospect, I wish we had waited. We went to 2 other places. They were both packed. And the only place that was open was a Denny's. And I don't have a problem with Denny's, but she really doesn't love Denny's. But we went ahead and went there, and it was like a half-hour wait because they were slammed. Not so much with people, but they just didn't have enough wait staff. I mean, there were like lots of people waiting for tables, and there were tables that nobody was sitting in, but they hadn't been cleared. They didn't have enough staff to clear the tables. And then by the time we finally got a table, there were flies. I mean, the food was fine, but it was just like, this is terrible. This is a terrible eating experience. And I will not go back to that Denny's. That Denny's was just terrible. And because Tracy doesn't like Denny's, she wanted to make it sound like, well, this is the norm for Denny's. It's like, no, it's not. There's a Denny's near our house it's great. I don't have a problem with Denny's. Just that one was really bad. But that was fun. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I have the day off. We will do something fun. And I'll talk about it next time here on Guy's Daily Drive. However, if you want to get a hold of me and say, Guy, why do you contribute to driving stupidity by talking in your car? I don't have an answer. I have no answer to that. But you can still ask by sending me an email to guy@mymac.com or a podcast at vertshark.com. Vertshark.com is where you can usually, not always, usually see all the latest odds and vids. You can go over to YouTube and like, share, subscribe to the Vert Shark channel. Like, share, subscribe. Just put a whole bunch of new content up there, finally. There's also, of course, if you're getting this hopefully as an audio program, you know about Guy's Daily Drive. You can like, share, subscribe to that as well. On the Twitters, I am Mac Parrot and Vert Shark. If you want to contribute to Guy's Daily Drive, you don't have to, but it would be greatly appreciated to help pay for all this nonsense if you did. And if you want to, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to Coffee, buy me a coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. That is going to do it for today. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me on Guy's Daily Drive, and I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.